Hello, myself Sunil Ramakrishna. Here basically we are discussing one of the topics, that is city creation. In this basically we are going to start one topic, that is this topic basically. This group basically. This basically why we are discussing, because one of the person basically Sunil R Nair basically is not getting the job. So one of the person basically of the political people only basically told that अरे भाई ये दादागिरी एक लोगों की, this is basically दादागिरी of one group basically. So one of the satellite group told that basically, let me basically see basically who is basically doing the dadagiri, and then basically we will solve the problem basically. So one of the person told that, let me see basically who is doing the dadagiri, and after that basically we will solve the problem basically. So one of the person told that, let me see basically who is basically doing the dadagiri. So one of the person told that, after having this much of knowledge basically, if you are not getting job basically, then basically these groups basically are all have become one basically. That also you can say, this entire group basically, that is this group basically, all army group basically has become one, and this all software company also become one, and this group also basically become one. This group also connected with this all group. Reason, because these groups are basically getting security from police group, that is this group basically are giving the security basically, that is this group basically. So this group also basically joined that group, that is this
की
group.
अमावस्या बेहद महत्वपूर्ण मानी जाती है। पौष मास को छोटा पितृपक्ष कहा जाता है।
हे विष्णु जी नमन तुम्हें, तुम हो पालनहार।
और इस अमावस्या
मेरे संग संग चलते हैं बाबा, मेरे संग संग चलते हैं बाबा,
मेरे संग संग चलते हैं बाबा, मेरे संग संग चलते हैं बाबा।
कैसे गगन में चांद चलता है उनकी।
One of the person told that, which city this is here basically, this see the city basically, which city this is basically. One of the person told that basically, from satellite basically they can view easily basically which city basically this is, but here basically we can't see basically.
गगन में चांद जियो
मेरे
बरसता है, कहूँ एक।
Then basically one of the satellite group basically told that basically, I can do only one thing basically, I can either create one new city basically, or basically I can finish the city basically. One of the satellite group told that basically, this only basically we can do basically, that is one city creation, one city end basically. And if city is getting end, then basically it's the whole world is going to affect basically. The city, if city is basically getting end, then basically whole world is going to affect, and whole world basically told that basically, why basically we whole world should suffer basically due to this country, why the whole world is supposed to suffer. USA told that basically, why due to India basically we should suffer, why Russia, due to India and Russia basically both are friends, so Russia group are also basically with India. So South Korea told that basically, why we should suffer for India. Then basically United Kingdom told that basically, why we should suffer from India basically. Japan also basically told like this basically. This group says that basically, that is your problem, your software company's problem basically. They are creating you problem basically. So one of the person told that basically, what is the maximum basically damage basically the software company basically can happen basically. The one of the person told that maximum damage means, satellite group actually think basically what actually maximum damage basically, this is basically unpeace basically. Peace was basically this, everything was basically peace basically, that is this group, this group, this group, this group are peace group basically. Now this group are not peace group basically. So that is basically one of the person told that these groups are basically creating problem to you. So one of the person told that, what is the maximum damage basically, one of the satellite group basically told, what is the maximum damage basically the software industry basically can get basically. So one of the person told the software industry basically can maximum damage basically, that is I think, because if they are damaging data, then basically there is no basically nothing because they have the data in satellite basically. Satellite basically have the data basically of the IT industry basically. There is no meaning of damaging data. Text box equal to 1000 cities. That 1000 cities basically are the backup of the text box equal to, so one city basically is only required for the text box basically, but rest of thing basically are backup basically all. So one of the person told that how basically it's a chain of blood cells basically. So one of the person told that in this world basically, if you are getting energy basically, for example I am getting energy, right? So that is filtered by hundreds of generation basically. Hundreds of generation means one of the person asked the question basically, what do you mean by hundreds of generation? Hundreds of generation means it is getting chained basically from the hundreds of generation. For example, one person told that still basically first world war basically people basically exist in this world basically. Still basically the Sri Krishna once basically exists. Still Ram God basically, Hanuman God basically once exist. Still basically they exist basically. So their energy basically connects to the 2000-year-old, 3000-year-old people basically, and then basically it connects to 1000. Then basically this like this basically the human basically gets the energy basically. So you can just imagine basically how basically it's connected basically. So one of the person told that this basically can we do basically. Then he told that basically what basically, that is a software data basically. Then one of the person told that software data basically is already basically taken the backup basically. So now basically if we will finish the entire software company, then also basically there is no meaning basically, right? Why? Because satellite basically group will pass the data to each and every software company basically. So one of the person told that what is basically one thing basically can we do basically. One of the satellite group basically told to the Earth planet basically. Same way basically you basically know that daily basically each and every people basically die for millisecond. Then he told that yes basically for millisecond basically daily one person basically die. Each person basically dies. So in the software industry basically is there any like that basically? Then he told that like this basically I don't think basically anything is there basically. I don't think basically anything basically is there like software industry basically. Then one of the person told that is this like that basically the whole world basically gets disconnect for few milliseconds. Then he told that basically is a normal thing basically. For a few milliseconds basically the world basically gets disconnects from the internet, and that is the from the satellite basically. They basically get disconnect basically. Then basically they get connect basically. There might be some reason basically. So there basically is nothing basically you can basically do. Then basically, for example, one of the person told that you are sitting in the laptop and you are speaking like this each and every thing basically related to IT industry. So it might possible that basically they damage your head, they damage your hand, they damage your leg, they damage your eye, they damage your mouth, they damage your neck. Like this basically they can do basically. One of the satellite person basically told that basically, because each and every computer basically are connected with the Jasusi group basically. Each and every computer basically are connected with Jasusi group. That is in India basically they have given the contract to the Russian group basically. That is this group basically. Friend of Narendra Modi. That is this group basically. This group basically are also creating problem to Sunil R. Nair basically. That is Russian group basically. Because these groups are friend of India basically. That is friend of Indian software company basically. And you are basically not getting job in this all company, and these all groups are basically connected with the Indian software company basically. That is Tech Mahindra, basically Accenture, IBM, Capgemini, TCS. TCS is the owner of the company basically, is Indian basically. So he is basically handling everything. So next video basically we are going to see a little bit more about this all software companies.